Let's now turn to growing angst amongst H-1B student visa or even green card holders who are looking to travel overseas. The nagging worry, what if on their return they are denied entry into the United States? Recent reports of people being detained at airports and land borders, of people wondering about the do's and don'ts. Let's get a sense of what might be prudent and what might be overblown things that you perhaps shouldn't worry about. I'm joined by immigration attorney Niranjan Adhikari to help us get some clarity. Niranjan, thanks very much indeed for your time. Niranjan, first up, is it a good idea for H-1B visa holders, student visa holders, green card holders to carry fewer electronic devices on their re-entry, or even if they should be deleting photos or WhatsApp before they arrive in case immigration officials ask them to hand over their devices?
Right, Allister. Electronic devices, the government has authority to search your electronic devices at the port of entry. You can carry your electronic devices, but you should not have any content which kind of questions your purpose or intent to come to the United States. For example, if you're coming as a student, your sole purpose has to be here to study, right? So if you have any photo, any sort of video communications or audio communications or even WhatsApp messages, which can so otherwise, meaning you're coming here to work and whatnot, then that could be a problem. So therefore, you want to avoid that kind of content in electronic devices. There are some best practices some immigration attorney have advised, which is to lock your phone because otherwise they can do sort of remote access to a device. So lock your phone, turn off the devices at the port of entry. If they ask you to hand over, you can do that. It's just that you don't want to contain any sort of questionable material in your device.
But they can ask you to turn your phone on, right?
Right, at the time, yeah, if they're inspecting.
All right. Okay, now lots to get through here, so I'm going to move on to the next one. What sort of questions should non-citizens be prepared to answer at the airport when they arrive from a trip from overseas?
Typically, the immigration officers at the port of entry will ask your purpose of visit, your duration of your visit, how you're going to fund your stay, and where you're going to be staying at, where you're going to be visiting if you're coming as a visitor. For a student, obviously, they will be asking about where you're going to be residing at on campus or off campus. If you have an address already, you can provide that. They may ask you a question about your study, what program you're studying, what university, what your start date is. So you should be prepared to answer those questions. For any returning resident, if they have been outside for longer period, they should be able to explain if they have been outside for family visit or if they had any sort of medical emergency would let them to extend their stay beyond 180 days, then they should be able to explain it. But
Okay.
if they have been outside for one
Niranjan,
year or longer,
let's say that they haven't been away for over a year or 6 months. We would generally need that re-entry permit. But what if someone is just want to play it safe? For example, a green card holder that's just gone away for maybe 1 or 2 months. Should they play it safe, like I said, and get that re-entry permit so that they get this hassle-free walk-through right into the United States without getting into any kind of trouble with immigration authorities?
right. It's not necessary. If a green card holder has been only outside the U.S. for 6 months or more, but less than 1 year, you don't need a resident permit. The same green card can be used for entry into the United States, but you'll be considered seeking an admission. Unlike when you enter within 180 days, then you'll be considered as a maintaining a legal permanent resident. But if you have been outside for more than 180 days, but less than 1 year, the same green card can be used to return to the United States. But you should be prepared to answer questions regarding your permanent residency, how you are maintaining your permanent residency, for example.
All right, very quickly, running out of time here, Niranjan, but I really want to get to this last one because how much does the port of entry matter? There is some suggestion on immigration forums that picking an airport in a blue state like California might be a safer bet.
Actually, there is no such, I guess, guidance I would provide. The reason is that I've heard, I read CBP recent notices. Actually, they deported number of people in New York, for example, and they have deported number of people in different other port of entry. It's not a blue or a red states, but rather, I guess, you should be prepared. I think there are some approaches. I guess some port of entry are more experienced with dealing with the immigrants versus others, so they are more prepared. They can ask the right kind of question. But you should not be fearful about what airport to choose and things like that.
Thanks very much.